automating is obviously one of the number one things that gets recommended, and it is critical. So whether it's automating into your 401k, automating a certain percentage, not to go into your checking, but to go into savings, and to tie it into the cliche of pay yourself first, which is true. I mean, how many times have I heard people say some version of, well, I just don't have any at the end of the month to put into savings? It shouldn't be the last thing you do. It should be the first thing that you do. You put that money into savings, and then the remainder is what you have to survive on. Now, and survive being a tough word, the rest is what you have to live. I will say, again, if you're kind of coming to maybe a renaissance in your personal finance journey, don't go super hard in the beginning. Don't start by like, I'm going to put 40% of my paycheck into savings. Start with 5% and then keep creeping it up. Maybe eventually you'll be one of those folks who save 70% of their monthly income, and good on you at that time if that's the lifestyle you want to live. I don't do that. And again, professional money person. But the other thing too that I think about is any way that you identify for yourself, things could be, a little bit of a temptation. What can you do to reduce temptation? Such as if you are somebody who has a tendency to want to say yes to every invitation, every sale. First, start unsubscribing to sales newsletters. That's just a game changer. But the other thing is to put your big savings at a completely different bank than your checking, because that way you can't easily move just a little bit over. It takes a couple of business days. You have to log into a completely different account. If you're logged in to see how much money you have in checking to see if you can buy something, you're not immediately also greeted by how much is in your savings account. So that's one option, is to do separate banks. I have multiple bank accounts at different banks, and all of them also have nicknames. Every single bank account I have has a nickname on it. Most banks will let you do this. You don't have to have like account number 67039. It can say something like honeymoon 2022. It can say something like, and I'm not kidding with this one, other people's weddings. It can say, I'm invited to 5 weddings this month, so like it's on the brain. Or it could also be something such as quit my job, June of 2022. Whatever it is that you're trying to reach with the money that's in that account, have a nickname on that account as just a subtle little reminder. Hey, maybe I shouldn't pull this money out because it is being saved for something important in the future. And that is a really critical thing that we can do for ourselves. It's a super easy lift. And finally, I'll make mistakes. I do think that that's the really big thing to remember on your financial journey. You will slip up. There will be a moment where you either overspend or you need to pull money out for an emergency or just something happens. It doesn't mean that the whole thing has to collapse and it's just not worth continuing on. It's really important that you just take a breath, assess why it happened, reset, and keep going.